You're listening to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show with local expert Jamie Meloni. Now, here's Jamie.
Hi again, everybody. Thanks for staying tuned in to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. And again, you'll find my show on every Mondays at noon, so I invite you to please tune in as this show aims to become your information source for the Tampa Bay real estate market. I want to go and bring on my last guest here for the show today, Kyle Matthews. Kyle and Robin Matthews founded the Because of Ezra organization in 2011 after losing their first son, Ezra, to neuroblastoma cancer in 2010. Ezra was just 800 days old when he passed, and his joy and battle have since inspired thousands to get involved with supporting a cure for childhood cancer. In 3 short years, the Matthews have grown Because of Ezra to a national presence, working to fill some of the large gaps in pediatric cancer research funding and focus on these solid mass cancers. Their goal is to raise money to support relevant research and clinical trials with physicians and researchers who can help make a difference in survival today. Since 2011, over $300,000 of research has been funded through Because of Ezra. Kyle, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Thank you very much. Kyle, tell us a little bit more about Ezra and your organization.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, good job on pronouncing neuroblastoma.
I practiced it last night for a while.
Right, I figured. Yeah, so my wife and I had Ezra in 2008, and in 2009 he was diagnosed with neuroblastoma. And like most people, probably we had never even heard of the word, but it's the most common cancer in infants, and it's only got about a 40% cure rate. A big problem is 70% of those kids relapse, and that is what happened with Ezra. And at that point, they basically told us, pick a trial. They didn't know what to do. There's no cure, and it's really just because of a lack of research, and that's why we founded Because of Ezra is to focus on funding research.
Now, what is neuroblastoma specifically? What is that affecting?
Neuroblastoma is a cancer of the nervous system, and so it's usually a tumor, a solid mass tumor, and affects either the kidney or somewhere on the nervous system.
Okay, and so when going through this unfortunate experience, what were some of the gaps in the research that you saw and inspired you to found this organization? Well,
that really was the biggest issue is that there wasn't anything for us. As soon as Ezra had relapsed, like I said, the doctors literally just said, pick a trial. They only knew of a couple, and those did not have very good results. And so really there wasn't enough going on of people actually focusing on how to cure neuroblastoma, how to stop relapse from happening. That's something that we're really working on, is stopping that relapse from happening. So yeah, there are a lot of organizations that do really good about helping during treatment. You know, we got lots of hats and gift cards and movie tickets and all these things to enhance your life during treatment. But at the end of the day, the research wasn't there to keep Ezra alive. And that's really what we founded on. And it's what we do, it's just research. That's what we do.
So Kyle, I've actually, as I just showed you, I just put, I changed my profile picture on my Facebook to mentioning the National Childhood Cancer Awareness Month of September.
Right.
And my comment on there, let me know if that's really what's happening, is that the awareness that I wanted to promote was that there is less research funds going to childhood cancer than adulthood cancer, because the rate of cure is lower for the kids because their cells reproduce a lot faster. And so it looks like the gap would come from that actually most of the funds go towards curing adulthood cancer. Is that something that is true?
Yeah, one of the biggest problems is that childhood cancer in general in the U.S. has 15,000 diagnoses annually, and that's over all 12 kinds of kids' cancer. When you look at adult cancers, there's many times that, lots more diagnoses. And so to bring a drug to market obviously takes an incredible amount of money. So a drug company is not going to do research on a childhood cancer drug because it will never, ever be profitable for them. There's just not enough patients.
It's tough to hear.
Yeah, it is. When you give to some of these big organizations like the American Cancer Society or even NIH, which is a federal thing, that's your tax dollars, it is literally 1 to 2% of that is going to all childhood cancers. So interestingly enough, a majority of childhood cancer funding is parent funded. So you'll have groups like ourselves, and across the country there are other ones similar who are doing all of the funding of these trials. And it can be cured, and it's just a lack of attention. And so that's why we're trying to shout as loud as we can and just let people know about that.
And you mentioned the term pick a trial. So you're saying they just gave you a couple of paths to try, and you're basically just hoping one of them worked or whatever. Is that correct? How many different trials were available or pathways you could try?
It'll vary depending on what doctor you speak to, but the doctors that we spoke to only knew of a couple, and so they told us those, and we wound up doing a lot of research on our own and finding a few others, but there wasn't a lot. And just in the 3 or 4 short years that we've been doing this, we've seen a big increase in that, and we really have partnered with a lot of other incredible organizations, families that we've met, passionate people that are making a difference to see more of these trials open up. One of the things that is kind of a foundation for us of what we do is it needs to be something that can come to trial within 6 months or less. We don't want to fund something that 10 years from now may have an effect on something. We want to do things that are changing the story for families today.
Now, your fundraising efforts and accomplishments are, very inspiring. Tell us more about some of the ways you've grown Because of Ezra from a local organization to a nationally recognized organization.
Yeah, thank you. We started here in Tampa in 2011, and we've had a pretty amazing group of supporters. Our board is across the country. So we did our first fundraising effort in Los Angeles in 2012, and that's our big annual event. It's called Karaoke for the Cure.
Yeah.
So what we do is we actually have karaoke with a live band. So instead of actually having a machine and you go up there with the machine, we fly in a band from Seattle. They know 500 or 600 songs, and it's something that's a little more fun than a typical gala dinner, that kind of thing. So we try to have an enjoyable time, and that started in Los Angeles, went to Tampa, and this year we'll be in Vegas as well. So
I think it would be particularly fun if Jamie's singing there.
Yeah, only if I have a few drinks.
Are you going to be singing? Because I know you're going.
No, I'm not a singer. But yeah, I'll definitely be there. But yeah, elaborate a little bit more. If you're watching the streamcast on live, you'll see an ad up there for the event. But again, this is this Friday, correct?
Yeah, in Tampa, it's this Friday at 6 to 10 p.m. It's at the Orpheum in Ybor City. So you'll be able to come out there and have a good time with the band. It's an open bar, $75. So we feel like it's actually worth what you're paying, but it all goes to support childhood cancer research. So there's nothing else you should be doing on Friday. No parties with your friends.
Karaoke for the Cure this Friday at the Orpheum in Tampa. And you said it's a $75 admission fee, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We're giving away 10 tickets a day too. So if you're on our website or our Facebook or Twitter, you can see those links to get some free entries.
Okay, and you've done this in the past too, correct? This is your second or third?
Yeah, this is our third year.
Third year.
Next year we'll be in LA, Vegas, and Tampa. So we're across the country.
The tickets are to purchase in advance online, or can people just go there and purchase the ticket on the day?
Either way, yeah.
Either way.
You can purchase in advance, or you can just walk right up to the Orpheum on Friday, and we'll be ready for you there too.
Okay.
And which band is coming in from Seattle here?
They're actually a band called Rockaroke. They've been doing live band karaoke for 12 years. These guys are the original folks that did this. They do 300 nights a year up in Seattle. They do a lot of corporate events and Microsoft and that kind of thing. So this is all they do. They know over 500 songs, everything from Elvis to Nirvana to Justin Bieber.
Sounds like an interesting event. You said you're from the Seattle region too. You said you were in music in the past before. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I grew up in Seattle in the 90s, so I was an alternative rock kid, and actually for a couple years that was my full-time gig, and gave that up for computers now. I'm a technology guy. But yeah, we came here in 2005 to Tampa, and we still go back to Seattle every year. But
yeah,
this is home now.
For any of the 80s rock guys, listening to you right now, they're probably cursing at you since the 90s rock killed the 80s rock scene when Kurt Cobain happened to come on the scene in the 90s. Interesting time in music. Probably the last highly influential band that we've seen, Nirvana. Going back to 1991 and everything. So, how's the Seattle music scene now? Is it still a pretty happening alternative scene? You don't see much coming out of there like we did in the 90s.
Yeah, I think it's actually still a pretty good scene. There's not you don't get alt rock out of there, but they're focusing a lot more on folk, and Macklemore's out of Seattle, so a little hip hop going.
Yeah, and how long did you play? How long were you involved with the music scene?
I've been playing for 16 years. I still do coffee shops, but I was a couple years that I did it full time.
So you're going to be hogging the mic this Friday on the karaoke event, right?
I might do a duet with you. Yeah. If you
got any original numbers you can have the band play for us at the event?
No,
nothing original.
It's all karaoke, all hits.
Very good. So real quick, Kyle, before we go off air here, how can people get in touch with you and your organization off the air?
Yeah, check us out on the internet at becaseofezra.org. And we're also on Facebook and Twitter as well. So
can you spell Ezra
online? Huh?
Ezra?
Because of Ezra, EZRA. So because of Ezra, EZRA.org.
All right. Kyle, thank you very much for coming on the show. A lot of great information and a very touching story and organization as well. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
And again, you'll the Karaoke for the Cure this Friday, September 12th. At the Orpheum in Tampa. We'll have some information up on the TampaBayRadio.com website after the show as well. If you're just tuning in, you've been listening to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. And again, you'll find me on every Mondays at noon. So I invite you to please tune in as my show aims to become your information source for the Tampa Bay real estate market. I hope everybody has a great week, and get in touch with me off the air through my website, TampaBayRadio.com. And you can reach out to me via email, Jamie@TampaBayRadio.com. I will see you all in here next Monday at noon, and have a great week.